peacekeeping is not just keeping the peace, it's about resorting the hopes, rebuilding lives, and cementing trust. This is what the UN and its affiliated organization are doing across the globe. Sri Lankan armed forces effectively intervened to restore the peace in Mali under the MINUSMA. The country called Mali is an African country which emerged from a wealthy dynasty in the past, and it is situated in the Western African region, neither commonly known as Sahel region. Mali shares its borders with Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, Guinea and Senegal from the south, and also shares with Mauritania, Algeria and Niger from the north. Mali is divided into two main regions as arid desert, which is the northern part of the country, and fertile savanna region, where the southern part of the country. Bamako is the capital of this large country, and the river Niger runs through the country from southeast to southwest. With the inception of the Arab Spring, the country went through a turmoil which occurred due to the uncertainty of political, economic and national security situations. Following above facts, country had to face for many number of separatist movements, and at the year 2012 Mali was divided into two parts as North Mali and South Mali. With this separation of the country, North Mali became more volatile, and leading terrorists armed gangs such as National Movement for the Liberation of Azawad, which is a secular movement, and Islamic movements like Ansar Deen, Movement for UNS and Jihad on West Africa, and the Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb were emerged. When the country was leading towards the most volatile hotspot in the world, the United Nations intervention came into action in the year 2013. Under the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2100 on the 25th of April 2013, the MINUSMA, or the United Nations Multidimensional Integrated Stabilization Mission in Mali, was empowered and established. In fact, many know of military and police peacekeepers from various troop-contributing countries were inducted into the Malian territory. But from the beginning, it was evident that the mission MINUSMA was failed to win the hearts and minds of the people of the Mali. The present military-led Malian government and the people of the Mali conducted many demonstrations against the MINUSMA within the country and within the United Nations General Assembly by demanding for the complete termination of Mission MINUSMA immediately. As a result, the United Nations Security Council decided to terminate the mission at the end of December 2023.
Nous n'avons d'autre choix que de parvenir aux conclusions objectives du bilan de 10 années de présence de la MINUSMA qui n'a pu apporter des réponses adéquates à la situation sécuritaire au Mali.
Peacekeeping operations operate on the basis of consent from the host country, and absent that consent, operating in a specific country would be extremely challenging, if not impossible.
However, under the aforementioned circumstances, when the Mali become more and more terrorized, the United Nations invited Sri Lanka Army to provide peacekeepers for MINUSMA in order to restore the peace in Mali. Even though in here Sri Lanka Army joined the MINUSMA. Lastly, Sri Lanka Army's involvement in UN peacekeeping missions goes back to year 1955. While setting an example to the famous statement of, "Peacekeeping is not a soldier's job, but only soldiers can do it." The first batch, which consists with 5 officers and 11 other ranks of the Sri Lanka Army, was launched into peacekeeping mission in Congo at the year 1960. As the continuation to the same, with the invitation of United Nations, the first combat convoy company of Sri Lanka Army was deployed in Mali, which widely recognized as the world's most hotspot. At induction, 20 officers and 223 soldiers were deployed, and they are serving up to the date. Since the initiation, Sri Lanka Army Combat Convoy Company is deployed in the city called Gao in the northern part of the Mali. Having stationed in Gao, Sri Lanka Army Combat Convoy Company conducts its operation for the sustenance of United Nations bases in various places while covering destination far about 570 kilometers from the Gao supper camp. It should highlight that the troops of the Sri Lankan Combat Convoy Company have to take much pain to maintain the combat efficiency and operational readiness within the very limited resources available and also under the adverse weather and ground conditions as well. Battle preparation and the conduct of battle procedure has become major challenge for troops in an unfavorable battleground and environment, in a place where approximately 9,600 kilometers far away from the motherland. The MINUSMA mission considered as the most dangerous peacekeeping mission in the world, provided that the Combat Convoy Company operations are considered as the most deadliest missions among all the military operations conducted under the MINUSMA. Generally, the Sri Lanka Army Combat Convoy Company has to escort more than 100 to 103 vehicles at a time, which the length of the convoy always will become 7 kilometers to 12 kilometers in column formation. Searching for safe lanes for the combat convoy to pass through against IED is also one of the major challenges which have to overcome by the search and detection teams during these operations. The search and detection teams and the EOD teams of Sri Lanka Army Combat Convoy Company are negotiating these obstacles professionally while setting examples for other troops contributing countries operating in MINUSMA. Sri Lanka Army Combat Convoy Company has conducted 69 combat convoy operations and also has encountered 46 IEDs while retaliating against one complex attack, indirect fire attacks and direct fire attacks successfully up to date. During the conduct of operations, the Sri Lanka Army troops has to overcome environmental, weather and adverse ground challenges, such as encountering of sandy and boggy ground, mud and boggy ground, sand stormy weather, rainy and stormy weather, high volume of atmospheric temperature more than 40, excessive overheating of vehicle engines, unexpected mechanical failures of military-civilian vehicles, negotiating of both wet-dry streamlines, sand dunes and rocky areas. Those difficulties has to be overcome by the troops under unfavorable situation, except in addition to dynamic operational environment while traveling through sub-Saharan desert terrain over the days and spending nights for many hundreds of kilometers. Irrespective of challenging operational tasks, the Sri Lanka Army Combat Convoy Company does not hesitate to provide humanitarian assistance to the local population. Likely is the provision of medical treatment and other medical assistance required inclusive of food and water, while on the move with the help of its dedicated medical staff as well. Also, the painful job undertaken by Sri Lanka Combat Convoy Company has been well admired and recognized by higher official in MINUSMA.
You have been the best ambassador of your beloved country, and you have done your job very well in most challenging and complex environment in Mali. The Sri Lankan CCC is very valuable asset of MINUSMA to carry out challenging tasks of convoy protections and undeniably a very credible, professional and dedicated force element.
The work that you are doing is, I think, one of the most demanding tasks and the most critical one, because it's about bringing logistics to the north, to Vidal or Thessaly.
Seriously, there is no one person in this mission that doesn't recognize the support and the great job being done by Sri Lankan CCC.
Further in recognition of professionalism, bravery and dedicated service rendered by Sri Lanka Army troops for the MINUSMA, The Sri Lanka Army Combat Convoy Company has been awarded with Force Commander's Commendation, Force Commander's Letter of Appreciation, Sector Commander's Commendation, and also the commendations letters from the contingent commanders of other foreign nations as well. 3 Sri Lanka Army peacekeepers have paid their supreme sacrifices of their lives on behalf of the establishing everlasting peace in Mali, and 22 soldiers become wounded in action for the same purpose. The Sri Lanka Army, the defender of the nation, purely relies on high standard of discipline, dedication, professionalism, and the loyalty. Furthermore, at present, the highly motivated bravery and sheer committed officers and the soldiers of the Sri Lanka Army is ready to undertake any challenges under any circumstances, and thereby they are operationally fit and ready to help the United Nations in order to maintain the stability of the world peace, even in the future too.